Dieses dämliche Rumgesnipe.
Gamers, have you ever faced a video game so challenging that it made you question your gaming skills? This century has brought us some of the most challenging enemies to face in the gaming world. These bosses are legends, from epic battles that test your reflexes and accuracy to mind-bending attacks that challenge your skills. So if you're a fan of these hard video game bosses, get ready. As today in this video, I'll be showing the top 10 hardest video game bosses of the century. Let's get right into it. Kicking off our list at number 10 is Dr. Carl's robot in Cuphead. In the game Cuphead, Dr. Carl's robot is a really tough boss. It's the final flying battle in the game, and it puts all your aerial combat skills to the test. You'll face a ruthless attack of laser beams, homing missiles, magnets, bombs, and much more. With only 2 eyes, it's almost impossible to keep an eye on every part of the screen, so you will often get hit by things you didn't see coming. The second phase of the fight is even more challenging. You have to go up against the Mad Doctor himself. You will need to dodge columns that have electricity running through them while also avoiding a whole bunch of flying objects coming at you. It's like a double challenge. Dr. Carl's robot is a real test of your skills, and it can be frustrating sometimes too, but it's also very satisfying when you finally beat it. At number 9, we have the Nameless King, a boss in Dark Souls 3 who's widely regarded as one of the toughest challenges in the Soulsborne series. This battle comprises 2 phases. Initially, you face the king's challenging dragon, but the boss fight is made even harder because the camera moves unpredictably and it's really tough to aim at the right things. Once the dragon falls, the Nameless King himself enters the battle. To make matters even more challenging, when he reaches half health, he introduces a new set of lightning-based attacks. These challenging battles keep players on their toes. Defeating the Nameless King requires not only skill, but also great precision and timing. Dracula in Castlevania is on the 8th spot. Castlevania, released on the NES, was known for its challenging gameplay, with Dracula being one of the toughest bosses. The fight against Dracula has 2 phases. In the first phase, players battle the human form, dealing with missile attacks, and you need to avoid that with full accuracy. Now, after defeating his first health bar, Dracula transformed into his true form for the second phase. This form released more rockets and a random jump attack requiring quick reflexes for survival. These combinations made this encounter extremely difficult. Players had to master the art of dodging, timing, and keeping a cool head to defeat this challenging boss. At number 7, we have Sigrun in God of War. In the 2018 God of War game, there was a particularly challenging boss known as Sigrun, the Valkyrie Queen. To face her, you need to defeat all 8 other Valkyries, which are already challenging enemies, but Sigrun takes the challenge to a whole new level. What makes Sigrun extremely difficult is her ability to use all the attacks and abilities of her Valkyrie sisters. You might recognize these moves individually, but when she combines them in a sequence, it becomes a real test of your reflexes and strategy. This makes the battle against Sigrun a true test of your combat skills and patience, and is often considered one of the toughest encounters in the entire game. On number 6, we have Raven Beak in Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread was released in 2021 and is a challenging addition to the renowned Metroid series. One of its standout and most challenging bosses is Raven Beak. This Chozo warrior presents a real test for players with 3 intense phases that demand lightning-fast reactions. Whether you're close or far, Raven Beak can quickly deplete your health with powerful attacks. His unmatched skill and strength set a new standard for the series. In the game's ultra-hard Dread mode, he was considered one of the toughest Metroid bosses of this century. Metroid Dread combines thrilling gameplay and a compelling storyline, marking it as a must-play for fans of the series and newcomers. Clinching the number 5 spot is Muru in World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft, one of the most difficult bosses was Muru, who was found in the Sunwell Plateau raid during the Burning Crusade expansion. Some of these fights in World of Warcraft often take hundreds of attempts, with more than 10 players fighting simultaneously. Overcoming such tough challenges is what makes these epic boss fights so rewarding for dedicated and skilled players. Such a hard fight that requires true skill, brains, and dedication. On number 4, we have Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 is a game that combines Disney characters with the world of Final Fantasy. Players can face an incredibly tough boss known as Sephiroth. Sephiroth was originally from Final Fantasy VII and appears as a challenging opponent. What makes this battle so challenging is that players need to reach a high character level, usually around 70, and should unlock powerful abilities to stand a chance against Sephiroth. Moreover, the fight against Sephiroth requires precise dodging. If you want to succeed in this game, you must also learn his attack patterns. It's a battle that tests your skill and patience, making it one of the most challenging encounters in the Kingdom Hearts series. And now the top 3. At number 3 we have Absolute Virtue and Final Fantasy XI. Final Fantasy XI, released in 2002, is a popular multiplayer game known for its challenging boss, Absolute Virtue. This boss remained undefeated for years until the game developers finally made it easier. What made Absolute Virtue so challenging wasn't its complex mechanics, but the fact that it was incredibly tough and could take over 30 hours to defeat. Many players struggled, and it became a sort of community challenge. Absolute Virtue serves as a unique example in the gaming world, where a boss became legendary, and it required the game's creators to interfere and make it easier for players to beat him. On the second spot, we have Melania in Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a highly challenging game that features Melania, who is considered by many as the toughest boss. Melania is a difficult opponent, known for her incredibly high damage, lightning-fast attacks, and unpredictable attacking combos. What makes her even more challenging is her ability to recover, which allows her to recover health when she hits the player, even if they block her attacks. And to make matters worse, Melania has a terrifying second phase, making her even deadlier than the first one. So facing her is a true nightmare for players due to her challenging and great combat skills. And now in the first spot we have Ishin in Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. This is a challenging action-adventure game released in 2019. The final boss, Ishin, the Sword Saint, is a major test of your skills. But before facing Ishin, you will already be stressing with a fight against Genichiro. Ishin has 3 intense phases, and each one is tougher than the last. His sword attacks have a surprising reach and can damage you a lot. What makes this boss truly difficult is that his attack patterns become more unpredictable as the battle progresses. This means you can't easily predict his moves. Defeating Ishin is incredibly satisfying, but it's far from easy. So it's a must-play for all gaming lovers all around the world. Well, the list I provided is just a snapshot of some of the hardest video game bosses of the century, and surely there are many others too, so if you have any specific ones in mind that you think should be featured, please feel free to mention them in the comment section. And that's it, it's a wrap guys. Thank you for sticking around till the end of this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notification. If you enjoyed this video as much as I did, please hit the thumbs up icon and tell me what you think in the comment section. I'd love to read your feedback.